Long before there was a Bear Cove marina or barges coming in to dredge it out, this whole area on the south shore of Massachusetts was known as Bear Cove. For a short while at least. By 1635, the name was officially changed to Hingham, and for the past few hundred years, this place has done pretty well, turning itself into a fine and upstanding town. Anyone who's ever heard a weekday evening traffic report will know it for the dreaded lane drop at the Derby Street exit. But beyond that, it's a town that covers over 26 square miles of land and water, has a bustling downtown which hosts community events that tend to bring people together of all ages to share in the good times. And it still has plenty of conservation land to enjoy. For example, Weir River Farm on Turkey Hill Lane avails its 75 acres of functioning farmland and trails to the public, not only during their spring and fall festivals, but year-round. And while there may be no one else around during the winter months but a few goats, it's a great place to stop by and soak in the clear view of Boston from one of the highest points of elevation in town. Of course, in a town whose origins date back to the 1600s, there's no shortage of locations for the Historical Society to showcase as well, like the Old Ship Church Meeting House on Main Street. And yet, all of this is still just scratching the surface of what this town has to offer. For commuters and travelers, Hingham may be nothing more than a highway sign they pass driving along Route 3. But for nearly 25,000 residents, it's a place they call home, send their kids to school, and of course, go to work. So we thought we'd spend 5 days, or one work week here, in the cozy South Shore town of Hingham, Massachusetts. For those who may not know too much about Hingham, there's a good chance they still know about the Derby Street shops. It's one of the finer collections of retailers and restaurants on the South Shore. It harkens back to a time when outdoor malls were more prevalent, with storefronts that have national and even international appeal. But local businesses? There are a couple here, but they're few and far between. For those, one need look no further than downtown Hingham. This place puts the local in locally owned. This is, after all, where Talbot's, one of the most successful women's clothing and apparel stores in the United States, got its start back in 1947. Known as Hingham Square, the downtown area features everything from home decor to fashion, coffee, restaurants, and everything in between. They say that as long as people have hair in their heads, the salon and barbershop industry will remain recession-proof. Well, judging by the number of shops that we came across in a 2-block radius, this appears to be a true statement. We dropped by Zona Brothers Barbershop on the corner of South and Main to see how they were doing in carrying on the tradition their family started back in 1896. Inside, we find a blend of classic barbershop with a modern feel. As with any barbershop, there will always be the sound of buzzers in the air and hair clippings on the floor that are swept away like a distant memory. But the atmosphere is a little different. As the saying goes, this isn't your grandfather's barbershop, but it could be. It's hip and cool without trying to be. And it's a vibe that's achieved by the unique mix of personalities that control the chairs on a day-to-day basis.
It's not a tech company, so the touch is right there, and you're dealing with people who are basically doing what they love to do. They're working with their hands, etc. So we've been very fortunate with great people. We don't recruit in a traditional sense because we just do business and let people come to us and focus on their experience and focusing on them staying rather than, turning.
Although no stranger to the scissors and hair trimmers, as the owner, Frank Zona is more often than not the one behind the scenes making the top business decisions, like landing this prime piece of real estate in downtown Hingham when it became available. His brother Andrew, who does double duty at their salon down the street, as well as the barbershop here, has seen firsthand that the location benefits not only the clients, but the staff as well.
I was here Christmas Eve. I came in for one client that comes from out of town, and he couldn't get in with me other than Christmas Eve. So I said, I'll take care of you on 11 o'clock, and I had 2 guys walk in on top of him. So just being here and being available. And I think our staff realizes that too, just got to be present. The industry has a tendency in some areas to leave. I'm not busy, my book's open, I'm just going to go home now. Well, if if you're not standing here, you're not going to get booked. So that's just being available.
As anyone who's worked with family can understand, there has to be a certain symbiosis achieved in order to make it work. Throughout the decades, the Zona family has found a way to maintain a functioning work environment, and their current operation is a testament to that success.
It's great, you know, because I think in one sense it's easier than the fact that he owns the company, he works on the company, I work in the company. Same with our sister Maria, who's part of the business, so she and I are in the business. Frank's working on the business. So you try to stay in your lane as much as you can, and that works.
Anyone who's not worked with family automatically thinks of the struggles. The real opportunity is you get time that you will never be able to have otherwise. So it's really more of a blessing than it is any kind of a challenge. And in today's world, that level of loyalty and commitment and collaboration that you have is invaluable.
And while having a harmonious work environment with a competent, creative, and artistic staff is all well and good, the real question is, will they be able to tackle my lovely locks? I like to call this the forever haircut, because if I want to continue to look presentable in public, I'll have to keep my haircut this short forever. Now, while the Zona brothers and their family have been involved in the haircutting business since the start of the 20th century, we thought we'd head up the road to another place here in town that's been a landmark since the start of the 21st century. Since 2001, folks in town have known this little ice cream shop on Main Street as known as Homemade. If we go back a little further, some may remember when this was the TCBY. And go back even further than that, we'll find a high school-aged Chrissy Pompeo, now Donahue, daydreaming in math class about someday owning her own ice cream shop.
I wanted to get in the ice cream business all my life. When I was a freshman in high school, I would doodle little things about getting in the ice cream business. I was a doodler. And then, fast forward many years, there was a Brigham's here and there was a TCBY here. Brigham's closed. I tried to see if we could put an ice cream shop in there and they wouldn't talk to anyone. We knew the guy here at TCBY, came to work for him just like nights and fill-in shifts. And then he got me a job with corporate TCBY in New England. And then one day he said, Chrissy, I don't want to do this anymore. And so my husband and I bought him out and took a year and a half to transition over to known as Homemade. So it's kind of like a dream of mine that I always had that just took a little while to do through the years.
Now, with a couple of decades of operation under its belt, the business runs like a well-oiled machine, thanks in no small part to Sarah DePisa, who herself moves like a machine while checking off all of the boxes for each task every morning.
Usually I'm here making ice cream early in the morning, so you've either got to clean the machine from the day before or put it together if it's been cleaned the night before, sanitize it, move all the ice cream from the day before from our hardening freezer to the walk-in, and get started making ice cream, make some lists. Often I'll have to do an ice cream inventory and make lists for the week and see what else needs to be made throughout the week, or if I had something in my head that I thought we were very low on and I find 20 buckets of it in the back of the freezer, we can cross that off the list. It's a lot of checking things off a list, I guess.
Starting here soon after this location opened, while still a sophomore in high school, Sarah DePisa is in the unique position of having taken the job that got her through high school and college and turned it into a career. It's a career that now has her overseeing not only this operation here on Main Street, but also their stores in Scituate and Hanover. Is this the way she would have scripted things back in her high school days? Maybe not, but maybe.
My passion lies in baking. I always wanted to be a baker. I was always making cakes for friends and things like that. And when I started making ice cream here in college, I think that sort of satisfied that craving, if you will. And I kind of made a career of it, I guess.
The name of the shop pays homage to the Italian word for grandmother. In this case, Chrissy Donahue's mother, who is not only the Nona to her 4 kids, but also made her mark here by making the ever-popular ice cream cakes. That's a tradition that Donahue and her sister have carried on as this family business continues to flourish. With 4 more family members potentially waiting in the wings, Donahue sees no reason for their success to end anytime soon.
I hope to still be doing this. I have no plans to stop right now. We have 4 kids in ages from 17 to 23. right now they have no interest, but when they hit the real world and go work for someone else, they might change their minds. So I'm hopeful that it'll stay in the family for years to come. We have a manager who's been here forever. I hope that she can be part of it for a long time to come, and maybe we can grow together there. So no plans to change. Hopefully just keep growing and having fun.
Nona's Homemade and the Zona Brothers Barbershop are just two spokes in the giant wheel that makes up the Hingham Downtown Association. The association is based on creating a strong community, and that's something that each of these businesses takes to heart.
It's so important, and I think it's a testament to Chrissy and all of the other owners down here that they've put so much of themselves into their businesses, and we've developed things like Christmas in the Square and certain other like festivals and town events that have happened down here have all started with the businesses, really, and they've grown into really fantastic events and just made for a really awesome community feel down here.
The interesting thing about a great downtown, and there's a reason that shopping centers try to create a downtown experience, is that it's an ecosystem, and all the businesses with the right mix play off each other, and play off each other in a walkable, connectable way. So any of our team can't walk the sidewalk here without bumping into clients, and that's just a wonderful thing. And so downtowns get that mix right naturally.